There are people who are drawn to pain the way others are drawn to beauty. They see someone broken and without thinking reach out their hands. They patch, soothe, rebuild, even when it costs them pieces of themselves. To some it looks noble, to others peculiar. To anyone looking closely, a wound disguised as kindness. They fix because somewhere inside care became currency, the only way to feel safe, seen, or loved. And when they grow up, that belief doesn't disappear, it only learns to call itself love. It gives them identity, worth, and a fragile sense of control in a world that has never felt safe. It begins quietly, with a child who learns that safety, or peace, or even love depends on how well they can hold everything together. Maybe they grew up in a house where emotions were unpredictable, where anger lived in the walls, where comfort came only after crisis. Or maybe the house was calm, almost too calm, a place where love had rules, where keeping the peace meant keeping yourself small. Some learned to fix because chaos demanded it, others because perfection did. Some grew up around pain they couldn't reach, a parent who drank, a sibling who drifted, a sadness too big for small hands. So they carry that unfinished rescue into adulthood, chasing redemption through repair. Others simply felt everything too deeply. They couldn't stand to see someone hurt, because the hurt never stayed outside them. Helping became their relief, empathy as self-soothing. And some fix to keep control. If everyone else is okay, nothing will collapse. Kindness became armor, composure, survival. Each act of soothing carved a lesson into the body. Control means safety. Care means worth. Peace must be earned. And so they grew into adults with nervous systems still on guard, bodies that flinch at chaos, hearts that mistake exhaustion for love, souls that confuse being needed with being safe. Years later, they meet someone who feels familiar, not safe, but known. The same ache, the same volatility, wrapped in a different story. They feel an almost magnetic pull, to fix what broke them, or to finally get it right this time. And so it begins again, listening for hours, absorbing every mood, offering love that expects nothing back, except the quiet hope that maybe, at last, someone will stay. When they give everything and it still falls apart, they don't get angry. They feel responsible. They tell themselves they just weren't enough, because somewhere deep down, being enough was always the condition for being loved. Fixing others becomes their identity. Without someone to save, they feel hollow, uncertain who they are. They confuse intensity with intimacy. They call exhaustion devotion. They call control compassion. But slowly the weight begins to show. Sleep no longer restores them. Laughter feels practiced. Even joy starts to ache. They wonder why the people they help never seem to heal, why every rescue leaves them emptier than before. And beneath it all is a whisper they've ignored for years. Maybe I'm not trying to save them. Maybe I'm trying to save myself. In trauma psychology, they call it a fawn response, a survival instinct where pleasing and caretaking replace fighting or fleeing. When danger once lived in human faces, your body learned that being useful was the safest way to belong. It wasn't kindness, it was strategy. And even long after the threat is gone, your nervous system keeps playing the same old song. Helping becomes your way to manage fear. Control feels safer than uncertainty. You chase the same patterns again and again, not because you're broken, but because your body hasn't learned another song yet. It often takes heartbreak, a relationship that drains everything, or a friend who only calls when they're in crisis, for the pattern to become undeniable. You see the exhaustion in your own eyes. You realize you've become the caretaker in every story, and no one has ever stayed to take care of you. There's a kind of silence after that, the one that comes when you finally stop running toward other people's pain and have to face your own. That's when the truth lands. You were never meant to be everyone's healer. You were meant to heal yourself. Healing doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start caring without losing yourself. You begin by noticing the urge, that instant pull toward pain. And in that pause, a quiet question rises. Am I helping because they need it, or because I need to feel needed? You start setting small boundaries, not walls, just doors that can close when you're tired. You learn to let silence exist without rushing to fill it. You allow others to have their discomfort, and yourself to have peace. You find therapy, or journaling, or a quiet walk where your body can finally unclench. You let safe people care for you, awkward at first, then miraculous. You learn that rest isn't selfish, and love isn't a project. Slowly, the need to fix softens into the capacity to witness, to stand beside someone in their pain without trying to rewrite their story. Some people spend years learning that empathy doesn't have to mean sacrifice, that their worth isn't measured by how much they give away. If that's you, you're not broken. You're someone who adapted to survive. But survival isn't the same as living. It's time to set down the tools you've been using to mend everyone else and turn them gently inward. Not to fix yourself, but to remember you were never broken for wanting to help. And when you meet people now, you no longer mistake chaos for chemistry or need for love. You start choosing those who can meet you, not those who need you to hold them together. Because healing isn't just learning to stop fixing others. It's learning to stand beside someone who's learning too, while still keeping your own center intact.